Across all history, the truly strong remain shrouded deep in darkness, hidden from society. They carefully erase all traces of their existence, so that when later generations look back on history, it is as if they were never there. But sometimes, even the most perfect plans to erase one's tracks leave unexpected loose ends. This tome was one of those loose ends, left behind in charred ruins. What secrets lie within?
Zassalamэль created me. A banal way to begin a tome. But writing down one's own history in a book is strange enough to begin with. I began writing this as an indulgent pastime, so I may as well enjoy myself. Now, about the cursed sword known as Soul Edge. I intend to record its secrets in this very tome. However, I must exercise. A fitting end awaits all who seek the cursed sword. Should anyone who has held that sword ever read this tome, though, the origin of Soul Edge is in legend says it was once an ordinary, but after fighting on countless battlefields, it gathered a great deal of all who took Soul Edge in their hands became slaves to the blade, murdering, and to that is why so few know of it, despite its appearances until, that is, an age-long past, when he was known as the In that ancient age, great change came only through war. The Hero King, being the man he was, I won't record the hero. Someday I may decide the time is right to reveal it. It is said the Hero King lost Soul Edge after the Hero King killed his son. The Spirit Sword Soul, indeed, the Cursed Sword, and the Spirit. While the name Soul Edge is known to a select few, there is a reason the Spirit Sword. Some say the Hero King created the Spirit Sword. But the truth, those who would carry on the dead king's wish and perfect soul, they were known as the Guardian. Like a thief in the night, they took the Spirit Sword and they told others of the Hero King's Spirit Sword, and that they were going into hiding to both prevent SoulCalibur. The Guardians of the Spirit Sword. One recent example. Born in Britain, the king used the Spirit Sword. I'm skeptical as to whether the king ever truly. It was somehow connected with the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. Also, it would be reasonable to assume that after the king's death, though, no one knows. Perhaps we should assume it eventually found its way back to the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. At the same time, there were, though, on the eve of the king's passing, a loyal knight set forth to find the Spirit Sword, and they hid themselves well for a considerably long period of time. Sworn to the late king, the Aval organization sought the Spirit Sword, and secretly assassinated all whom they deemed outside. A deeper look, however, reveals there was some After slumbering in the shadows of history, Soul Edge Cervantes attacked the ship of one who had won Soul Edge at an auction. Soul Edge changes its form depending on when Cervantes took up the cursed sword. And after nearly 30 years of slumber, Cervantes and the cursed sword were defeated by a female warrior. Shattering without coming in contact with the Spirit Sword was a first for Soul Edge. Immediately afterward, the evil within Soul Edge. Why did the evils? What havoc did it wreak where it not even I have any? But one thing is certain. Ever since that day, what does it mean to be malfested? It's extremely hard. There are those who undergo monstrous transformations. In addition to humans, some common traits of the malfested include some become beasts, hungry only for slaughter, while others use strategy to entrap power. Sometime after the evil seed, the rumors said he possessed Soul Edge, and his string personally. I was also in. I then received news that the Evolve organization. It intrigued me that there seemed to be someone in their organization. While Soul Edge has appeared constantly throughout history, in time I lost interest. But after resuming my search later, with it were taken a staff able to absorb all manner of energy. No one knows what had happened to the Guardians of the Spirit Sword, but they must. As for the temple, it later became Ling Sheng Su, a famous martial arts. But now the Spirit Sword, the evil seed, deeply affected Ling Sheng Su, and most like its martial arts students were soon overcome by madness and therefore, no one knows what happened to the Spirit Sword. While the survivor didn't possess SoulCalibur, what powers did he possess? What? I only started writing this tome as a pastime. But I was once one of the The precepts of the Guardians were very strict. But in my younger days, when the others discovered my designs, amid my despair, I searched for a way to After a long period of training, I reincarnated myself over and over again. At first, I didn't realize the price. For every time I reincarnated, it felt like my soul was being crushed. It is hard to... Indeed, I hadn't no matter what one may accomplish in life, my bodies have lain in countless graves. But so it was that I came to yearn for the final eternal death I could never have. Gradually, that was my desire for death, or that longing for true death, led me to wisdom, power, battle. But when it was over, I was as a puppet of the cursed sword. And I fought in an age of endless war that spanned the world. I've lived as every type of person. Old, young, however, not even the cursed. And so I died.